this video, we'll look at some commands which will make your life much easier. So we won't be looking at ls, cd, mkdir, the basic commands, but we'll look at one step ahead of them. So I'm using the Linux terminal on Windows here, and if you want a video on how to do that, let me know in the comments. So without further ado, let's look at our first command. So you may know that we use mkdir to make a directory, but what if I want to make multiple directories and multiple subdirectories in each of those directories? In that case, I can use a variation of mkdir. So I can type mkdir space -p. Then I can type the name of my directories. So let's say fol1 and fol2. Be careful not to put the space there. And then I can put the subdirectories. So let's say fol1, fol2 and 3. Okay, seems good. So when I execute this command, so basically I'll be getting two directories, and each of those two directories will have three subdirectories each. So let's check. So I have the two directories. Let's move to fol1 and let's check out its contents. And as expected, we have three subdirectories in that folder. So this is a nice way in which you can have all the permutations. So you can have all the permutations of the folders by just one command. So fol1 will have all the three subdirectories 1, 2, 3, and fol2 will also have the subdirectories by the same name. So you can also create hundreds of folders just by writing 1.100. So let me show you how to do that. So so you can have mkdir -p. Then you can, instead of writing fol1 comma fol2, you can write 1.100, and same thing for the subdirectory. Okay, so this will create 100 directories, and each of those 100 directories will have 100 subdirectories. Okay, so it might take a couple of seconds for execution. So let's check out our directories. So as you can see, we have 100, in fact 99 directories out here, and let's check any one of those. So let's move into 2 and list out all of its contents. And as expected, there are 100 subdirectories in the directory 2. So this is a cool trick which you can do to automate or simplify your work. So now I got all these directories, and now I want a nice representation of it. Now I can always use the ls command, but what if I want to view it in a way in which I can relate to it? In that case, you can use the tree command. So it's not a pre-installed command. You need to install it via sudo apt get install tree, and it will ask for your password. And once it's done, you can just type in tree, and it will have a tree structure for whatever the content you have. Now I have 100 directories and 100 subdirectories, so I won't be doing it. So let me just quit this process. Let me clear it and show it to you. Let's look at how this looks. And yes, I've removed all the 100 directories because I don't want to crash my system. So as you can see, I have folder 1 and folder 2, and each of those folders have 3 subdirectories each. And I've removed all the 100 folders so that I can give a proper view of the tree. So now let's move to the third command, which is the double exclamation, and it is one of my favorite commands. It's a very simple command. What it does is it repeats the previous command. So as you can see that the current screen disappeared, that's because I had pressed clear. So if I can type in tree and type in double exclamation, so the double exclamation repeats the previous command, so it repeats the command tree. Now you might be thinking that this is a very trivial command and it has no use as such, but you can combine this with other commands to generate really good commands. So for example, if you write a command which is not able to execute because you don't have the root privileges, so what you can do is you can repeat that command by typing sudo and double exclamation. So what it'll do is that it will execute that command with the root permissions as you're typing in sudo. Okay, so this is one interesting use of this. So right now, if I do it, I'll just be getting the same output, as tree does not require root permissions. So this is an interesting command which you can make use of, and it will save you from typing the entire command again. So let's move on to the fourth command. So while we're on the topic of sudo space dash s. So this will make you the root user of your uh, system. So you don't need to type in the password every time. So if you press this command, you'll be granted the root privileges, and you can do all the sudo related commands which you wanted to do, and you won't have to type sudo every time. So yeah, this is also a pretty nice thing, but it also has drawbacks. So you might want to take that into consideration. And to go back, you can press exit. So once you press exit, you will go back to your normal mode, and you won't be there in the root mode. Moving on to the fifth command, the history command is used to print the history of the commands that you have typed so far. But what if you want to type a command and make it as such it doesn't appear in the history? So I don't know what you want to do, but if you have some particular command in mind which you don't want to appear in your history, what you can do is you can add a leading space. So just a leading space followed by your command will ensure that it does not enter into the history. So I'm typing in space ls, and so right now it will execute ls. Now if I go to history, you can see that ls is not there in the history. You just have to use the space bar and it will not show up in the history. Now go wild. Now for the sixth one, if you want to make some changes to your previous command and you want to do it in an efficient way and you don't want to retype your entire command again, what you can do is you can make use of the exponent operator. So you can type a command which would look something like this: exponent operator followed by the string which you wish to replace, which is your string 1, and the string followed by the string 2, which is the correct string. So for example, I made a mistake in typing the echo command. I wrote and I got a command not found, and I know that it is not the correct command. So what I can do is I can write exponent operator followed by the incorrect command which I gave and which I wish to change, followed by another exponent operator followed by the correct command. So this, as you can see here, it will print the correct output, and it will basically replace this incorrect string by this correct string. Okay, so you will get the correct output out here. Now for the last one, we have cmatrix. So it is not the most useful command, but it is definitely the most interesting commands out of all. So you need to install it. It's not a pre-installed command, just like we did for tree. So you can have sudo apt get install cmatrix, and it will ask you for the password. Okay, so once you have installed it, what you can do is you can just type in the command, and it will basically transform your entire terminal into this nice matrix pattern. Is it useful? Probably no. Is it amazing? Definitely yes. So I'll stop it by Control C. So these are the 7 Linux commands you should know. To recap, we've discussed the mkdir command for making multiple folders and multiple subdirectories in this fashion. Okay, and we have discussed the tree command to get a tree representation of your directories. Then the double exclamation command to repeat the previous command. Then the sudo s to change your permissions to the root user, and exit command to exit from the root user. And for the fifth one, we discussed how to bypass history by space followed by the command, and it will not show up in the history. For the sixth one, we discussed how to change a mistake in your previous command by using the exponent operator followed by the incorrect string followed by the correct string. Okay. For the seventh one, the final one, we discussed cmatrix to view a nice animation of the matrix on your screen. So hope you guys liked this video. Do let us know if you want more Linux videos, and I'll see you next time.